Hi everyone. I saw some videos a couple minutes ago actually, and it kind of got me thinking about one of the other things that I love. And a lot of people don't understand why I love this movie, so I wanted to make a video and tell you why. The movie I love is Star Wars. I've loved that since I was 4. And I've never heard of watching the Star Wars movies in machete order. I always watch them, or when I try to watch them, when I have time, I usually watch them in release order, starting with 4, 5, and 6, and then I go to 1, 2, and 3. So I want to do a video about the whole saga, and then if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. But before I get into that, I do have some big news. I am going to go see Carrie Fisher in person in 3 weeks. So I cannot wait to see that. I can't wait to meet her. I can't wait to finally meet my favorite actress from Star Wars. So I'm going to quickly talk about each movie. And I am going to do it in release order. The first movie that came out was Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. It was released May 25th, 1977. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking that wasn't a big movie. Well, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know that it is. And in that movie, you have Princess Leia, you have Darth Vader, James Earl Jones, who does the voice for Darth Vader, and you have C-3PO, R2-D2, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru, and Han Solo, Chewbacca, Jabba the Hutt, briefly, Greedo, briefly, because Han kills him, and yes, but so those are some of the characters, and in the movie you meet Leia on the Tantive 4, or when she's being kidnapped by Vader and stuff. She's about roughly 18 in the story, I guess, because she's representing her father, Bail Organa, on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan, her home planet. And then, after the stormtroopers stun her, you get to go to Tatooine. But before that, R2-D2 and C-3PO sneak into a pod. The Empire is stupid because they don't realize nothing. They don't realize that the droids, who have what they're looking for, got off the ship. So they crash on Tatooine. And C-3PO is being like, I'm not going that way. And R2-D2 is like, I don't care. I'm going this way anyway. So they meet Luke, and his Uncle Owen purchases them from the Jawas to do farm work. Well, while Luke is cleaning them, he finds the recording that Leia slipped into R2-D2 before they got off the ship. And then he's wondering, why is R2-D2 looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi? And he's thinking maybe he's a former owner of R2-D2 and everything else. Well, long story short, they find him. He saves Luke first from the Sand People. Then he takes Luke to his little hut or house, and he shows him the lightsaber that Anakin had. Anakin is his father. I'll get to that in a minute. And Luke tells Obi-Wan that this droid's looking for you, and I've never seen such determination in a droid before. And Obi-Wan is saying, funny. I don't remember owning a droid. And Luke told Obi-Wan that, there's a recording, I can't find it anymore, and Obi-Wan finds it. And we get to hear the whole message instead of just hearing, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." So, they go to Anchorhead, I believe, yes, Anchorhead. And Luke promises to help Obi-Wan find a pilot to take him to Alderaan. But before that, he rushes home and finds his aunt and uncle dead. Well, they meet Han Solo, and Han Solo with Chewbacca takes them to Alderaan on the Millennium Falcon. Well, that happened in about a good chunk of the beginning of the movie. Fast forward the movie a little. You get to finally see Leia again in Cell Block AA-23. And Luke saves her, and the famous line from this scene when they're on the Death Star is, "Lock the doors and hope they don't have blasters." That's my favorite quote. So, he saves her, and her response to him is, "Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?" And he tells her that he has her droids, he's here with Obi-Wan, and she gets really ecstatic. So, that's enough about Episode 4. If you don't know it, go watch it! Okay, jumping to Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. And I hope my father doesn't get mad at me. All I remember is that it came out on May 25th, and I think 1980-something, in the 80s. I was not born when these came out, so I'm going briefly through memory here. So yeah, Empire Strikes Back, Luke, Leia, and Han are back, same with Darth Vader. They're on Hoth, and they're trying to defeat the Empire, of course, and, let's see, what else do I want to say about this movie? Oh, yes. Luke kisses Leia. And you can remember that. I'll tell you why that's a little awkward later on. He goes after Luke leaves Hoth. People are like, how is Princess Leia going to get off the planet, because the Empire is coming with the AT-ATs, the snowmobiles, and all their weaponry. And Han is saying, "I will get her off in the Millennium Falcon." So Luke goes to Dagobah and doesn't join up with the X-Wings, because he goes to Dagobah and to meet Yoda. Well, then we meet, later on in the movie, we meet Lando Calrissian, Billy D. Williams. And when I saw this character, I thought he was just kind of like your goofy contact. And he helps the Empire kidnap Han to take him to Boba Fett, or to have Boba Fett take him back to Jabba the Hutt, because he didn't pay Jabba the money he owed him. So he gets frozen in carbonite. Okay, so Han is frozen in carbonite. Leia and R2-D2 and C-3PO and Chewbacca are on Yavin, I believe, or Cloud City if you want to be easy and understand that. And Luke is trying to train as a Jedi, and he feels that his friends are in trouble, so he leaves Dagobah to go save them. And how else do I want to say about this? Oh yes, we find out that Vader is Luke's father. No shocker there. Anyway, so that's kind of like the gist in Episode 5. And now we go to Episode 6. Episode 6, many people may not have known, had two titles: Revenge of the Jedi and Return of the Jedi. Hope I remember those right. That came out, I believe, again, May 25th of 1988 or 87, I think. 88 or 87, one of the 2 years. So this movie is kind of like a wrap-up. I view it as a wrap-up because, yeah, they beat the Empire and everything. So, in this movie, they're back on Tatooine. Leia saves Han from the carbonite. Then she gets placed in a steel bikini with a chain to become Jabba's slave. Hence, slave Leia. But if you don't know about that, that's a little weird, because it's a 30-year-old movie. Anyway, so Luke saves them, and what else do I want to say about this? Oh yes, the big thing in the movie. Luke finds out that Leia is his sister. That reverses back to what I said about episode 5 when she kissed him. Yeah. Siblings kissing. Okay. So then they're on Endor. And again, I'm sorry I'm jumping around. I don't want to give out too much for people who haven't seen the movies. But, yeah, you need to see them. Anyway, so, what was I saying? Oh yeah, they're on Endor, and Luke is saying, I have to go fight Vader, and Leia's saying, no, just leave if you think that's going to help. And he's saying, the Force is strong, I feel the good within him, and everything else. Well, he turns himself over to Vader, Luke does, and Han, at this point, thinks that Leia loves Luke, because he's saying, if you can't tell me, who can you tell? Well, she tells him that Luke's her brother, and that she really loves him. Okay, so, yeah, Vader dies in this movie, and we get to see him take the mask off. I like the newer version of this because I got to see all the planets when the Empire was defeated, and it was just really good remastered. I have the Blu-rays. My dad loves Star Wars. We have a lot of Star Wars stuff packed away right now, but we're gonna get some more. But yeah, and then we go to the prequel movies. Now the prequel movies, if you watch them in episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's a better flow of a story, but you really don't need to, because basically they started with the action trilogy, and then they started with the story trilogy. I mean, yeah, episodes 4, 5, and 6 were a story, but that was like jumping into the action without knowing the info. So basically, the Phantom Menace episode 1 came out in 99. May 25th, 1999, I believe, if I hope my info is correct. And that kind of shows you that Obi-Wan was a Padawan in that movie. Anakin was just a kid, and he meets Padme, who is the Queen of Naboo, and yeah, he lives on Tatooine, by the way. That's a little comparison with him and Luke. And then Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan's master, dies. Obi-Wan takes Anakin as his trainee, his Padawan. Then we jump to episode 2, and I believe that came out in 2001, I think. Okay, well, I think it came out in 2001. I'll have to double check. It's been a while. Not that long of a while, but it's been late. It's late, and I don't remember that. Anyway, in episode 2, Anakin is still training with Obi-Wan, and he meets Padme again because the Jedi Council asks Palpatine if Obi-Wan and Anakin can watch over Padme. So they arrange it, and they get to see her again, and they fall in love. Anakin and Padme fall in love. Well, okay. So that's basically what happened in episode 2. Episode 3 came out May 25th, 2005. This movie is when Anakin went down to the dark side. He married Padme in uh, in secrecy. They have twins. He becomes Darth Vader. That's just a... Oh, and him... And before he becomes Darth Vader, Anakin and Obi-Wan fight on Mustafar. That is how Obi-Wan got Anakin's lightsaber from Episode 4. So, yes, and Padme dies and all that. So, yeah, those are the 3 trilogies, or the 3 prequels and the 6 movies. Now, what I love about them, what is my favorite, you ask? My favorite is Episode 4, A New Hope. Out of the prequels, I'd have to say Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So, sorry about that, I didn't say the name of the Episode 2, but please, Google it. It's not hard. Yeah, so, back to my little... I have Star Wars stuff. I love it. This is my anime room, I guess. I haven't gotten my Star Wars mural up yet. I'm going to do a mural in one of the rooms. Well, my dad's doing it. I have a limited edition Princess Leia poster, and I love Star Wars. And again, if people think Star Wars is not big, go to Anaheim. Because when I went to Celebration 2 and 3 in my state, it was huge. I mean, it was huge. Now, you may think it's not the best movie compared to Gone with the Wind, but nothing can compare with Gone with the Wind. But overall, with inflation, Star Wars still makes a lot of money. Now, because I have been getting picked on because, again, I love Star Wars. This is what my family loves. So, yeah. So please, if you don't have anything nice to say, please don't comment. But, yeah, I love Star Wars, and when I get everything together, I will show you my Star Wars collection. But, like I said, I'm in the middle of unpacking, so I don't know what box it's in. I know it's somewhere, I just don't know what box it's in. But my goal is to have Carrie Fisher sign my poster so I can get it professionally framed. And I will probably put it somewhere in here, maybe, or in my bedroom, I don't know. But when I get it framed, I will show you in a video. So, if you have any questions, please comment on the video and let me know. And if you like Star Wars, please tell me what movies you like. So, yeah, and if you haven't checked out Star Wars Rebels yet, I highly recommend it. It is good. And if you don't play the Old Republic, I recommend that. Granted, I've been taking a hiatus from that, but yeah. So, Star Wars is another thing I love. Like I said, I've loved it since I was 4. So, holds a lot of good memories. My dad and I, my family and I, we watched all the movies, all the prequels and everything at the midnight showings. So, we haven't stopped that. We are actually going to go see Episode 7 when it comes out in December. I wanted it to come out in May to keep with the tradition, but once time, I'll let it slide. But, yeah, I love Star Wars, and, again, if you love Star Wars, please let me know in the comments what you think. Again, I try not to give much away, so I try to clip note it. If I left something out that you want me to talk about, please let me know, and I'll do a video about it. Bye-bye.